Hello, today I'm going to talk about informational interviews and networking, and this is presented by the Career Center. So, first thing is what is an informational interview? A lot of people do not know what that really means. It's really like a formal way of saying, I want to connect, but I also want to gain some information and insight into the field that I'm going into. And we tend to do this with many things in our life about restaurants, furniture, clothing. We ask about a particular restaurant and what type of food's good there, or what food is not good there. We tend to do that more than we tend to do that for our own career. So it's good to gain some insight and updated information about your particular field of interest. And you never know where it might lead. It might lead into an opportunity, a position, or a possible mentor. So informational interviews is like a reverse interview. And you can seek information about a company. It's a form of networking, and you also might get an opportunity out of it. So it helps create an open door while encouraging information sharing and culture. It's a more relaxed way of connecting with an employer instead of at an interview where you ask about what's the company culture like. You actually will get a more sincere answer if you do it in an informational interview where it's a little bit more relaxed. You get insight into recruiters and how they recruit, what they look for a resume. You find out about roles, positions of the company, and what the company's like. So it's a really good thing to do. So when you prepare for this type of interview, and the way that you can do that is to figure out what you want out of this informational interview. You might ask about a specific role, or organization, or leadership, or mentorship. And you can send if you apply to a position and you send your resume off to an employer, and to follow up, you can actually ask about the role. If you can find somebody on LinkedIn or maybe a particular recruiter's name, you can, if you haven't heard anything for a while about the particular application that you put forward, you can actually follow up and wondering what happened to the application. If it's still an open position, you can definitely do that. Even after it's not an open position anymore, if you don't see it anymore on the job search site, you can do that. You can follow up. So we want to identify who we're gonna interview. So there's many ways to do that. We usually suggest to look on different resources. There's professional organizations of your field. You can look on LinkedIn. We also have this Ontario Tech.ca mentorship cafe where you can sign up and you can actually get introduced every month to a new alumni in your field or relatable field. So it's really good to do. We have there's organizational directories out there as well, public speakers. So if you got to a conference or a job fair, there's a public speaker there, you can connect with them, as well as organizations through job title. So there's many ways of connecting with people and getting yourself out there and asking for these informational interviews. So it's a reverse interview, getting insight, not a job directly, not up front, but to gain insight, to network and connect. So if you are going to do this, and you should, you need a pitch. So a pitch includes who you are, where you are now, where you have been, where you're going, what are you looking for, and a question that's related to the field or a call to action. So here is a script sample. And you might not say this all in one go, but you might say most of it. So, hi, my name is Jill, and I'm a Bachelor of Science student in computer science, possibly interning this spring. I'm thinking of becoming an urban planner, and I'm researching careers in this field. One of my mothers, John Chan, who used to work with you, mentioned that you have been in the field for a number of years. I was also told that you have vast, insightful knowledge regarding this field. I was wondering if I could set up a time to ask you some questions about what it's like to be an urban planner and what advice you would give to someone looking to get into the field. When would it be a convenient time to talk? And you can put a time limit on there of 5 to 10 minutes so it's not inconveniencing anybody. As you can see by this script, it's an introduction of who you are, a little bit about how you know about this person. You're providing a bit of a compliment, saying that they have vast and insightful knowledge to share, and then a call to action. So those are the four components of a good script. So you have to arrange the interview through a conversation. It could be through a conversation, through email. It could be virtually. It could be in person. So there's many ways to conduct it. There's no one specific way to do so, and so that gives some options for people that are still at hybrid mode, or they all only in person. So many ways. So when you're performing the interview, and so here's a little bit of virtual etiquette. You want to wave hi and goodbye, just in case you're on mute. You dress professionally for it, always. You could sit a third in the screen. It's a little bit more comfortable. It looks like kind of like a news anchor, how they would sit. Leaves the space open. It's just not you on the screen, but leaves some background. Let them into your space. Make eye contact by looking at the camera as much as possible. Usually we suggest about 50% of the time. Have good gestures, no arm crossing, limit your hand gestures. Have sufficient lighting in front of you, not behind you or beside you where there's glare. Keep your cell phone off and make sure the camera is positioned at a good angle. So usually we suggest at a 90-degree angle. Use a laptop. The easiest way to do it, because with a phone, it could be kind of on an angle. If you have a laptop, I would suggest to use the camera. So you got to conduct an interview. So meet on time, be polite and professional. Bring a list of prepared questions that you want to ask them. And as your contact before you leave, suggest names of other people that you can connect with in the field. Questions to expect. So it could turn into an interview. So they might ask you the question, tell me about yourself, which is a combination of why do you want to work for this particular company? Of course, you have to do research, and you can find that on LinkedIn or go to their website. So you want to connect with them on a couple of values of their company. And then you also want to bring forward a couple things about you that's unique to you, the skills that you have that you feel are unique or different. It can be technical, could be essential skills or soft skills. And that's what you speak about in the Tell About Yourself. How do you prepare for today's virtual networking interview? Well, if you reviewed this, so that's one way. But you also, if you have ever been part of any networking session or informational workshops in the past, that would work as well. The long-term, short-term, they just want to see that you're still in the field, that you're going to be ambitious and stay in the field. And then the last one, enjoyed most about your program or least. The most, of course, that's an easy one. The least one is a tough one, but you could speak about particularly about something that is not directly field relatable. So it might be outside of the realm of your field. And that's what would be acceptable. That would be acceptable. A few example questions here. So how did you get in this field, educational background? And see, as it gets a little bit more progressive, so as soon as you get a little bit more comfortable with the person that you're speaking to, you can ask them a little bit more specific questions, like what are the typical entry level positions? Or are there any courses, types of jobs, those sorts of things in the field? You should always follow up for the information gathered so you can make notes. No issue with that. Send a thank you note to contact them within a week, and then continue to follow up. And here's a template that you can use to follow up. Always follow up. Don't ever burn a bridge, so to speak. So don't just because you're not interested in that particular company, you want to not just ghost them. You want to be able to connect with them. And ghosting meaning avoiding them, not connecting with them. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. You're connecting with them. You have to connect with them all the time, but you never know who they might know in the field. So you want to keep that connection open. And then that's it. So thank you for staying in touch and connecting with us. And that's it. So thank you very much and have a good day.